Some people in the comments have said, well, you all aren't even really black, so I'm not sure what they were saying
like, how can you talk about it if you aren't even black? Which, I mean, that to me, we come from an interracial marriage, so that gives me all the more room to talk. Like, you're not gonna tell me what I can't say about interracial marriage.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good, man. We got these sisters back at it again. Man, listen, the reason I even like, at least listening to what they have to say is because, once again, these are what you want your sisters to be, right? These are what you want women in general to be, right? Where these sisters, once again, they carry themselves in a respectful manner, right? You can tell they have a lot of self-respect. They're not like, a lot of these regular sisters and these regular women that you see today, where they just don't care, right? Where they just don't have a care in the world. They don't have no respect for themselves, right? They sit over here, sexualize themselves, and then get upset when men sit over here and partake in it, right? And hey, well, you know what? Men are this, men are that. You're not really hearing these sisters really say anything like that, right? These sisters are very realistic, right, about some of their statements. These women are very realistic when it comes down to their mindset, right? These women are not delusional. These women do not come up with BS. I may disagree with some of the things they may say, right? But for the most part, men, they tend to be on point. And even if it's not something that I can agree with, it's something that I can still respect. And hey, I might be able to understand it to some degree, right? Because once again, a lot of these sisters can always find a common ground with you. These sisters are intelligent. These sisters are what you would want your sisters to be within the community. These are your ideal sisters. These are the type of sisters you would want to be the pillar of a sisterhood. But of course, because they are light-skinned, a lot of people are saying, hey, well, why are you even talking on black issues? Why are you even doing this and why are you even doing that? Like I said, I feel like they definitely can speak on that. You can tell that they have black features. They have black men. I mean, you can tell that these are black women, right? Might have a little bit of white in them, but I mean, for the most part, you can tell that they are black women, especially just by judging by the lips. You can tell these are black women. Now, once again, I can't, the clothing is mind-boggling to me, but at the same time, it still doesn't take away from their beauty. It still doesn't take away from how attractive they are. And I'm talking about as far as characteristics and personality. But I definitely think they can talk about the black culture, the black community, the black issues, because once again, they definitely partake in that. They definitely see that every single day. And like I said, a lot of sisters can learn from these sisters. That's just a fact, even your older one. But let's go ahead and hear what the sisters have to say, man. And, let's see how they feel about people questioning them. And let's see how they feel about people questioning them about their, about their race and, how connected they are with the community.
Some people in the comments have said, well, you all aren't even really black, so I'm not sure what they were saying
like, how can you talk about it if you aren't even black? Which, I mean, that to me, we come from an interracial marriage, so that gives me all the more room to talk. Like, you're not gonna tell me what I can't say about interracial marriage.
Now, I do want to acknowledge that the black experience, I would never try to say that, as a light-skinned black person, I'm having the same experience as another dark-skinned black person, because that's just not true. Mm-hmm. It's different for everybody. But it's different in the same way that the black experience is different for a black man and a black woman, different for a black adult and a black child, different for
a black person in the 60s
as opposed to a black person now. Is it different? Absolutely. But does it all still fall under the umbrella of the black experience? It does.
Tell corporate America we're not black. Like, see how far we get.
And she's absolutely right, where she is saying that, I mean, hey, man, look, you have different shades of black. At the end of the day, they all have the same foundation, right? And it might be off topic a little bit, but you can kind of correlate it to Malcolm X and, Martin Luther King, right? Where they both have the vision of, equality and black people being treated with respect, right? But they went about it, different ways. So at the end of the day, they go about it differently, right? They go about equality differently. But at the end of the day, they're all looking for the same thing. At the end of the day, they come from the exact same foundation. Correlated to Red Pill, where, you got, Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, and a lot of these hardcore Red Pill people, And then you got people like myself, Kevin Samuels, Jose D. Jackson, Poor Man's Podcast, Different Perspective. The list goes on. You have this type of red pill with Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate, and then you have this type of red pill with Poor Man's Podcast and O'Shea D. Jackson. All come from the same foundation, right? All want the same thing, but they're going to go about it differently, right? Where, as you can see, Andrew Tate, he's all about flashiness. He don't really care about family or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're looking for respect from women, and they are saying, here's the hierarchy. Here's yeah, right? Same thing for, same thing for O'Shea D. Jackson, right? Where, hey, here's a hierarchy with men and women, this, that, and the third, but they're looking more for family, right? They're looking more for family. They're going to point out all the BS, but they're talking about more for family. Whereas, Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate are all about, being successful, getting money, and being able to do whatever. But once again, it's all under the same foundation. She is saying just because I am not 100,000% black does not mean I cannot state my experience. Does not mean I cannot say how I feel about a certain subject pertaining my people. Once again, we all fall under the same category. People just can't sit over here and just push these women away, or sit over here and say, hey, well, y'all, what sense do y'all make? What do y'all know? And you get a lot of people, man, who say this and try to destroy people's argument by saying, hey, well, you're not black, right? Where you see Tariq Nasheed, right? And, shout out to them, but you see Tariq Nasheed, where him and Myron may go back and forth, and he's saying, man, look, you are Sudanese, right? You're Sudanese. You can't say anything. You can't even have an opinion about the black experience, right? You cannot have an opinion about it because you're Sudanese, right?
Telling me that if you're an immigrant, you cannot comment
from
on
the Sudan.
situations.
Yeah, if you're from you're from the Sudan, you can't say about a foundational black American. Nothing
Interesting.
at all.
Interesting.
Nothing.
Let me. Okay.
Nothing. You can't say nothing about us.
Let's use your logic.
Not one word.
Let's use your logic.
From a failed homeland where people are starving. You can't say about us. Yes.
Cool. Then let's use your logic. Then.
That's how that works.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you have to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2?
No, sir. No. That's no. That's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with anything. You come from a failed homeland where people are over there starving, and you haven't figured out how to stop the people from starving. So you can't come over here and talk about
Here we go.
So thank you to the white supremacists in America. You're eating, Tariq.
How so, sir?
Because the white people started this country. The white supremacists started this country. Go back. Exactly.
Let me take this because
they failed when they tried to do it on their own. They didn't start a damn thing. It was foundational black Americans. Go ahead, sir.
Tariq, let me again. So you're telling me if someone's an immigrant from Sudan or wherever they're from, they can't comment on social issues?
Not over here. No, you're not at liberty to do that because your social issues are in shambles. You're not at liberty.
Cool.
Why would we listen to you? Why would we listen to you?
Okay.
If you come from a country of complete
now, let me
failure,
ask you another question.
Why would we listen to you?
So
now, from my understanding, he's black Sudanese. So I mean, I would, I don't know, right? I don't know. Now, all I do know is Myron is on a different page, is on a different level. Hypocrite, they contradict themselves. It's kind of hard to even, trust what they even say at this. But Tariq Nasheed will always say, hey, well, you know what? Y'all are not even a part of the black community. So how can y'all even talk? So, of course, you're going to have people who, of course, throw that rebuttal back, right? Because, of course, a lot of people don't have arguments, but they will always throw that rebuttal back and say, okay, well, if that's the case, then why do you have a lot of black folk bring up what white folk do? Why do you have a lot of black folk jump in or talking about the Hispanic experience or issues, right? And for the most part, at least for me, right? At least for me and at least for a lot of, folk who think like me, right? When we talk about the Hispanic experience, of course, we know Hispanics, are a minority. Now, of course, I believe that there are more, but once again, still a minority, right? You could still say black people and Hispanics still can correlate to some degree, right? We have some of the same issues, right? So of course, more black people can talk about Hispanics, and especially, man, if you go look in a lot of these places, man, that are highly, populated with Hispanics, right? Mainly New York. A lot of them tend to have Hispanics and black folk, right? So of course we can always correlate. We can always see each other struggle. But another thing, right? Once again, with people who think like me, I will always point out the good things with Hispanics, right? Where a lot of us, the black community can pick up a lot of things from the Hispanic community, where the Hispanics are very tight, right? I believe there was a video a couple of years ago, right? And my mama she was upset. She was upset because she's saying, why can't we do the same thing they are doing? But I believe there was like some video of a guy, man, he was just like, I mean, dude, these Hispanics, man, went ahead, built themselves a house. I guess they made it within a week or so, right? They built themselves a house within a week, and it's a house that all of their family is going to live in.
Say some shit to y'all that I seen yesterday that made me smile, but it hurt me to my heart. There's a house next door to me that's been abandoned, and the yard, the grass high as hell and everything. There's a couple of abandoned cars out there beside the house. Well, yesterday I get off work about 7 o'clock. A Mexican guy pulled up. He said, "These your cars?" I said, "No." He said, "I just bought this house, man." I said, "All right, that's what's up." He was like, "You know whose cars these is?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, I bought the house, not the cars." Okay, I'm like, cool. I'm thinking he just coming to look at the house. I go back in the house, do a little straighten up. I swear to God, I walk back at the house. Now I'm getting off about 7:20. It's fucking 9 Mexican trucks just pull up. They got fucking beer, lights, and shit, right? So I'm like, what y'all finna do? He said, we finna fix this house. I said, what kind of crew you got working after 7 o'clock? He said, these my friends. The fucking house is fixed this morning. They went in there and drywalled that fucking house. Wow. I just left out of there. It was a fucking abandoned house. That bitch looked new this morning. Whew. It was an abandoned fucking house. And it looked new this morning. It's an old African proverb. Many hands make light work. I just don't think they're better than us. I just think we won't do nothing together. Wow. You're not hearing what the fuck I'm saying. It was an abandoned house yesterday at 7:15. That bitch is new this morning. He bought a tax lien house. I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see, is one family gonna live in there? Is they gonna, I'm gonna get to know the motherfuckers. You best believe me, when I make some money, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring us together. And I'm not fucking with a lot of people.
Because they take care of one another. And we're not trying to sit over here and say, I'm not trying to sit over here and say that families don't take care of other families, but this is something that we need to do as a whole, that we all need to take care of each other. Now, of course, we live in a different time where, you just can't give up your room to anybody. But what I'm saying is, we all need to take care of each other. When I'm sitting over here working at my job and you have a guy who is Hispanic, every time, man, you have a bunch of Hispanics coming in, they saying, hey, let me talk to this person. Let me talk to this person. Because of course he can speak Spanish, but for the most part, man, they are just that tight, right? They are just that tight, and they're always going to look out for their own. Whereas our own people, we jacking each other, we doing this, we doing that. So once again, we have a bad representation. Pretty much, we have a bad representation of ourselves, right? So of course we bring up the good things with Hispanics. Why can't we be like Hispanics? Why can't we stick together like Hispanics? Why can't we save money like white folk? Why can't we have respect for one another like Hispanics and white folks? So of course, the black man will always talk about, your Hispanic experience, right? Especially with being a lot of black men dealing with Hispanics. A lot of black men can relate to a Hispanic experience. That's the reason why you hear a lot of guys bring up Hispanics and be able to talk about Hispanics. When guys, right, when black folk talk about, you know, white folk, right, they bring up that experience because, of course, you know what we dealt with for over 400 years. So we have all the rights to talk about it. We have all the rights to still talk about pretty much what is going on today that stem from what happened 400 years ago. We're still seeing some glimpses of it, right? And it's sad. It's mighty sad, especially with that Breonna Taylor case. I mean, right? I mean, you go ahead and look up what recently happened with the Breonna Taylor case, right? So, I mean, once again, you know, it's a lot of things, man, that our community can learn from other communities, right? So y'all do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe, man. Y'all let me know down below, man. Are light-skinned women, right, or light-skinned people in general, are they qualified to talk about black issues, even though their father or their mother is related or has a mother or a father that is black or white? Now, granted, somebody gonna say, well, what about Kamala Harris, right? Her father is black. For the most part, Kamala Harris, number one, has never sat here and said, you know what, hey, you know, I'm for the black folk, you know, hey, am I BSing? Did she ever say, hey, well, you know what, yeah, I'm a part of the black community, you know, hey, man, black this, black that? And it was none of that, right? It was none of that. You even have a video where she was saying, man, look, I don't want, you know, I'm not going to make laws just for black folk, even though we are the ones, man, who are the most disrespected. We are the ones that are most looked down upon. So how can you, so once again, how like I said, we should be your main priority, right? Black folks should be your main priority, but it's not until it's time to go ahead and get into office. So, hey, guess what? We're going to go ahead and start swaying some votes, right? We're going to start making people feel like they can really trust me. So, of course, you got a lot of sisters, man, who are trying to vote for Kamala Harris because, hey, we want a first black president and, you know, we want a first black female president, right? I don't think she should be in there. Shouldn't no woman be in there. Donald Trump shouldn't even be in there. Maybe give us another candidate, or maybe just let the government run like they've been doing for the past, I don't know, forever. But once again, you see how a lot of your sisters are. You see how a lot of black folk are today. Once again, Kamala Harris did not give a damn about the black folk, right? She didn't give a damn about us. But now all of a sudden, because, hey, well, you know what, now it's time for me to get into office. Let me go ahead and try to get all of these sisters votes. And sisters just falling right for it. But somehow, some way, these are the most educated. Somehow, some way, these are the sisters, man, that want to lead. It's just mind-boggling to me but you know what, hey, right? Once again, you have a infiltrator, right? A sister, man, who, once again, her father is black, but she does not ever talk about her father. She does not even relate towards that side. I mean, once again, nothing about her screams black, but hey, guess what? She even showed that she don't care. And we still have our own sisters choosing to defend that sister. She does not have the right to talk, but hey, guess what? When you have people who are monkey see, monkey do, like I said, most of my sisters are monkey see, monkey do, this is the type of shit that you get. Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.